Hello, everybody. This is a Commitment Keepers post. Follow us at Commitment Keepers on Instagram and Commitment Keepers on Facebook. Real quick subject: should we share all information in marriage? Regardless of that information, if it's your friend's personal information, if it's your wife's personal information, or especially if it's an unknown infidelity. That was the big point, because this question arose because of a friend that had a infidelity. And my response to him was that I do not believe that all information should be shared. There's a saying that too much information at times is not good. And especially with an infidelity. Well, before I hit the infidelity, I'll talk about the overall information sharing. When somebody comes to you in confidence that they have something that they need to share to you, whether they need to express it for their own relief or to get understanding, and that's a friend or family member, just because somebody is married, that doesn't automatically give them the right to have free reign of all information that you receive from other people in confidence. That doesn't matter if it's the wife that feels that way or the husband. You know, there's no rite of passage that says, you're my husband, you're supposed to share everything, all the intimate details of whatever information you know with me. And the same thing for a wife. You know, there's a thing called pillow talk that husbands and wives do when they're laying in bed. And that pillow talk has to have boundaries. There has to be a balance between what can be shared and what cannot be shared. And if my best friend came to me with something very private and said, please don't share this with your wife, and I turned around and shared that with my wife because my wife feels that she has a rite of passage to know, that's blatantly disrespectful to my friend. His confidence in me, with protecting his privacy, you know, all due to the fact that, well, she's my wife, so she should know. She's my best friend. I should be able to share everything with her. And some things are best not to be known. When I say that, I go into the infidelity part. Now, this particular young man feels that he should be able to share everything with his wife because that's his best friend. And he asked me, well, if I can't share it with my wife, who can I share it with? Who can I share it with if I cannot share something like this with my best friend? So I said, well, first of all, you wouldn't have this dilemma if you didn't have an affair. Number one, that's the number one thing. And now that you want to be so open and honest, those are the things that you should have thought about before you had an affair, and protected her feelings and everything prior to having an affair. And it's the same thing with a woman. If a woman wants to share this type of information with her husband, it's the same thing. You know, so what is really the point of this? Is it to make yourself feel better as the offender? Is it to clear your conscience as the offender? So we dump this onto our partners to make us feel better, because we're saying, now we're being open, I'm being honest, and I'm being transparent. Well, what happened to being open, being honest, and transparent from the beginning that would not have you in this place? Now, I'm not just talking like, you know, hey, sounds good, this is what I want to say. I've been down the road of infidelity. I actually introduced infidelity into my marriage, and my wife followed. So I'm not just talking about my feelings and what I think. Now, from the clinical perspective, they'll say share everything. Everything is best to be shared. Yes, after it is exposed, that is true. I feel that everything should be shared. There should be an open book, but at the same time, there still should be limitations to what is being shared, because sometimes, like I said, all information is not good information, and it can actually be detrimental to the marriage. It can damage the repair process, knowing too much information. And I say that with proof because I know several couples that typically it's the wife that wants to know all of the details, the intricate details, because women think differently than men. And when the husband shared this type of information, it totally destroyed the relationship. It just devastated the wife even that much more. So what she wanted to know inadvertently came around and hurt her and caused the overall destruction of their marriage. Of course, the infidelity had something to do with it, but the information that was received afterwards was too much, and that's where they went down. So when they say, well, who can I share it with? That's to be shared with God. You take that, that's between you and God. God says, confess your sins to me and me only. Okay, now if you don't believe in God, if you don't have that type of spiritual relationship with God, now you need to take that to your counselor. Because when we talk about our best friend and being able to share these things with our best friend, I have to be real and say, well, would I hurt my best friend like that? If my wife is living in basically marital bliss, let's not say that she has an inkling of something might be going on. You know, she doesn't have a clue. Now, am I supposed to go to her and just totally devastate her, tear her life apart with that type of information? Versus saying, you know what, I made a mistake. I need to clean my act up and get myself together, change the way I'm living, and treat my wife the way she's supposed to be treated, and cut out this nonsense. To me, that is the way to go. But many counselors would tell you, oh no, you should share. You know, that's the good thing to do. You should share, and you should bring it out and be honest. But pain is pain, and hurt is hurt, and it does not matter where the source comes from. If my wife came and tell me, hey, by the way, you know, I've been having an affair, and I just wanted to be open and honest with you and share that with you and let you know. Oh, really? That's supposed to make me feel better that she was open and honest with me? It's an honorable thought, but the after effect is going to still be the same. The pain is the pain, and the hurt is the hurt. The devastation is the devastation. And people that typically will say something like that, even my friend that's saying, well, I think I should be able to share something like that. You just don't understand the devastating, hurting pain that one receives when they find out about an affair. The trust is broken. The respect could be totally broken. Dignity. Even the person who has been offended, their self-esteem could be just trashed. Everything about them that, you know, they prided themselves on to feel good about themselves and motivated themselves to get up in the morning and do one thing or another and accomplish their goals could be devastated and ripped away from them. And this is the way that a friend is supposed to be treated? If that's the way a friend is supposed to be treated, I don't want to be nobody's friend. I'd rather be by myself. Because I know, going back to sharing information and so on and so forth, if we take it to a friendship type of thing where, you know, male and male friends, homeboys, you know, women that are friends, you know, from high school, elementary school, being that they're your friend, you should be to call them up and tell them that you've been having sex with their husband for the past 5 months. No. I mean, it really sounds good. It really does. And I understand the concept of being open and honest. But when it comes to somebody's heart and their mental state of being and even their health, because affairs have devastated people so bad that they have killed people. Husbands have killed wives. Wives have killed husbands. Mistresses from the male and the female have killed, you know, the partners. And you're supposed to just go, you know what? I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be open and honest and share this information because they're my friend. I think it's much deeper, and people need to think about that much, much more. And this, as I said, this is a Commitment Keepers post, and I'm going to come back with my wife's perspective.